Dear Nayeli, written by Jessica G., read by Alejandra. You have been such a great influence on me. Growing up with you was the best thing that I've experienced, and I would not want it any other way. You always showed me that you're there for me. When my grandma passed away, you made sure my family and I didn't miss anything. When our group was having disagreements, you always agreed with me. We lived in the same apartment for 11 years. You were practically my sister because you wouldn't leave my house until my dad got home. I remember you were terrified of my dad. Every time he got home from work, you rushed home saying you had to clean. We would invite you to eat at our place, and you only said yes when my dad wasn't home. I recall the times when you would put your picnic table under the trees and make ourselves a sandwich and homemade water. We would go across the street and play on the playground until the sun went down. You made me realize Chicago is worth living in when you have someone by your side at all times. I'm thankful you're still part of my life as we're about to graduate high school. I can't wait to see what life has in store for us. A Chicago where anyone belongs would look like a crowd of people in the streets day or night, and not being scared of getting attacked by someone because you would have witnesses if something ever happened. Chicago makes people belong to the area if it has a lot of stores or downtown activities, such as parades, protesting, or having concerts at Grant Park. Chicago would have crowds of people out of their houses and spending their time outdoors during the summer. I think the mayor could make these changes because without their permission, we wouldn't have any parades. To make other people feel like they belong in Chicago, I could try my best to feed the poor or make sure they receive a blanket during the winter. I think it would work because I believe that the homeless people also belong in our city, and it would make other people feel the need to help out. I would like to have a turf field around my school because we have to drive 10 minutes to get our local soccer fields. I would also like to have more beauty stores around my neighborhood because a lot of people have to drive a distance to get what they need. If we had local beauty stores, we would save the amount of gas we spend, and we would also save the planet by decreasing the amount of gasoline we use. I would also like to have safer playgrounds for children because the wood and cement could cause damage if they were to get hurt. If I could go anywhere else, I'd probably go to Mexico. I would like to go to Mexico because it's different from what I'm used to seeing. When I'm home with my parents, we usually have cookouts and go to the park together or we go to the mall. However, Mexico is different. Everything feels so much better when you're visiting places you're not accustomed to. My mom is from a ranch and my dad is from a neighborhood in Michoacan. When I was at the ranch, I would go to the store next door every day for chips and pop because there was nothing to do. Most of my cousins at the ranch are older than my sister and I, so they spend their days at college or at work. We weren't able to go anywhere until they returned because it involved using a car. When they came back, we would usually go for walks because there would be no signal so we couldn't watch TV. Although I did enjoy the ranch because of the animals my grandpa had, it felt more like Chicago to me because we cleaned up in the mornings and we had our freedom in the afternoons. My dad's neighborhood was a bit different. My dad's side has people my age, so they don't really work. My grandparents owned their own local bakery, so they would sell bread every day from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. I wouldn't really go out until the afternoon just so I could help my grandparents take care of their stand. It was different from the ranch. Although I would stay in during the day, I would go to different places to eat breakfast and go back to the stand, or I would go to their little mall or make a pit stop at my aunt's house. There were more houses and stores that made it interesting because I was never able to go to a store next door in Chicago. I got the chance to meet amazing people and I wish I could spend more time with them. I plan on attending college and getting my diploma. After I get my diploma, I plan on living in Mexico and catching up with the people I met there.